In this video, we're going to take a look at rendering. Rendering is the process of drawing all of the elements in your scene. It combines your textures, your lighting, and your models to produce a final result. Maya has several different types of renderers. The two most common are our software renderer and hardware renderer. We can access our different types of rendering options through the Render Settings icon. Here, we can see the specific renderer that Maya will use. Mental Ray is the new default, but we also have Maya Software, Hardware, and Vector. We're going to start with the Maya Hardware 2.0. Maya Hardware 2.0 uses the Viewport 2.0 as its base. By switching to Hardware 2.0, we can render exactly what we see here in the viewport to individual files or frames. In our render settings, we can click on the Maya Hardware 2.0 tab and make adjustments to the hardware renderer to match what we see here in the viewport. The two are separate. So if I make a change in my Viewport 2.0 settings, they will not reflect what we have in our render settings. So I'm going to go through and we'll take a look here. First, let's turn on Screen Space Ambient Occlusion. We'll enable that, and we'll just use our defaults. Let's go to our anti-aliasing, and we'll add some smoothing there. And we'll turn on gamma correction as well. We could also come down and enable a wireframe. Once we have all of our settings, we can then choose to render. I'll choose the render button here to render out my final result. Now I can save this image by going to File and choose Save Image. We can also save our images local to our render settings window by choosing the Keep Image button. This will keep that image just in memory, and then we can compare it to previous or future renders. So for instance, if I go back and turn off our gamma correction and our screen space ambient occlusion, and then render again, we can then compare the two to see the differences. Now the viewport itself is also doing a render. It just does so in real time. I'm going to create a directional light, and let's scale it up so that we can see it. That'll have no bearing on the light that the directional light actually produces. And with Viewport 2.0, I can hit 7 and actually see that lighting. Now by default, our light does cast a shadow. In order to see our shadows in our viewport, we have to turn them on. If we go to Lighting, we can check Shadows. Now these shadows are not an exact representation of what we would see if we were to render, but they're really close. Now we can also choose to do a software render, and we're going to use our default, which is Mental Ray. We'll click over, and now we're using the Mental Ray rendering engine. And Mental Ray is a very robust renderer. It has lots of different features. We're just going to stick with the basic options for right now, and I'm going to go to Quality and just take a look at what we have here. We have one quality sampling option here, which makes it a lot easier to fine-tune our final render. We can just increase this slider to help remove any anti-aliasing or clean up any artifacts that we might see in our image. By default, progressive mode is also turned on. Now this is going to render pretty quick, so we won't really get to see too much of the progressive mode, but what this will do is continually increase the quality of our image, basically giving us a sample first of what the image might look like, then gradually render it to its end result. This gives us the option to stop the render and prevent any wasted time. We'll go ahead and render. Again, that progressive mode is on, but it is also set to IPR only. I'm going to switch this and just turn it on, and we'll hit render. And you can see I get a little bit of a rough area first, and then it cleans it up. If I hit render again, you can see how it looks like there's artifacts there, and then it finishes. and that is that progressive mode gradually cleaning that image up. Now we also have an option which is called IPR, which is our interactive photorealistic renderer. Inside of our render view, we can choose IPR, and we'll go ahead and hit that, and it will ask us to select a region to fine-tune. Since we have a simple scene, I'm going to grab this whole area here, and then Mental Ray will go ahead and render it, and it is still using that progressive rendering. Then what we can do is change values, and then our renderer will automatically update. So for instance, if we change our directional light to red, our renderer will immediately begin working on that and show us the end result. We could also change the direction of our light, and it will continue to render. This allows us to continually work and make changes and see those updates.